It's the 10-year anniversary this year. Are you looking forward to it?
I think it's a source of great pride for everybody, and Nick is still very much involved in running the event, and I guess, an ambassador as much as anything. But we've all got immense pride in this, not least of which because it is still, despite some pretty tough times, COVID, killed the events industry, as you can imagine. Can't get out, so that's a problem, and it's come back stronger. Last year was very much to a feeling that it's back to its roots, back even to Telford as it was, because it were good times at Telford. We had to move to the NEC. The event success drove us to the NEC, not any part of greed or anything, because ironically at that time, despite me haranguing our sales director at the time, we never got an idea of the universe. How big could it be? We didn't know. We had to move to the NEC just because Telford couldn't cope. Yeah. Telford was lovely, but it couldn't cope. We'd overwhelmed it. So in that time, that was obviously from the 10 years ago, where everything was up in the air. Nikki's from the exhibition industry, and I got her in with another lady, Jo Smith, to take care of operations, to organise the event for us, whilst Matthew and I went out and did our best to get exhibitors in. So we had no idea what it was going to be. We had no idea what was going to happen. Matthew had fantastic vision, and it's got to be said, would spend money really quite randomly. But he had a far bigger vision than I had. So I was more the sort of organiser and pulling things together. Matthew just had this fantastic vision. The people that did the design and creativity at the time, elements of which are still here today, that's survived through. So the biggest change that we've had in that time was the move to the NEC, which was forced upon us by the success of the show. So 10 years on, it's been a very exciting ride. We've got a room full of people here again today, because it's all about the people. Fit Show is just a platform. It's a stage, and so the cast are the exhibitors, the actors are the exhibitors, and we're only as good as our exhibitors. So if we get them to participate with us and partner us with this, we're going to have another great show. Oh, I've got a good feeling about this year.
I've heard about your feeling. People have been telling me about your feeling today.
But I haven't been arrested for it yet. But it's only a matter of time.
You mentioned it when you were talking earlier. People have said there's an atmosphere. You mentioned an atmosphere building.
Yeah. I really do believe so. Last year was very much, it felt like back to the roots. It was quite a lot smaller, but nonetheless, still got the punters through the door. So I think this year has got the sheer volume of exhibitors. I think the numbers are going to be great again. We have hit this number, but it's quite an impressive number. I was asking myself earlier, sort of creating headlines for ads and things. If nobody goes to the Fit Show, if an installer doesn't go to the Fit Show, if a fabricator doesn't go to the Fit Show, where are they going to get their information from? People read the magazines, probably not as much as they should do. But if they don't go to the Fit Show, how are they going to learn what's new? How are they going to understand what's available to them? It's a day out. Just take a day out, installers. Take a day out, fabricators. Don't tell me that you can't afford that time. Don't tell me that a couple £100 on site is worth. You have to go to the Fit Show to find out what's going on, to actually see the stuff and try the stuff and talk to the people. It is so invaluable to you. So I can't understand. I'm not earning my living by putting windows in. So there is a big difference there. But I cannot understand why anybody can't find a few hours to go to this show that has got thousands of new products there and services. There are some squares on the floor plan, still as yet unoccupied, but the inquiries that are coming in are really quite impressive. There was some really very, very big names still. So watch the space. It's just the companies have been in a difficult position, and particularly the larger firms, systems companies, for example, in that if you think about it, restrictions have and doubts over COVID, but doubts over the economy have created a problem for the larger companies, because it's only now that people are getting the confidence to actually book space at the show, go to a show in May. Certainly up until Christmas, people were really scared about how the new year was going to pan out, and we're learning that so far it hasn't been that bad, not as bad as many people thought it would be. But of course, it's too late for them to build their huge, what I call elephant house stands. So there may be a couple of the systems companies that haven't made it, and it's all part of their product cycle as well, development cycle. But it's nearly full. Some big brands, and I can't tell you who they are still booking, still coming in. It's going to be very exciting.